Sen. Franken DMinn is facing an ethics investigation after radio broadcaster Leeann Tweeden accused him of groping and forcibly kissing her during a USO tour in 2006. And while Franken apologized and welcomed the investigation, he has left many unanswered questions about the episode. Notably, Franken's apology suggested Tweeden's version of events different from his own. He said he doesn't remember forcibly kissing her the way she recalls it, and he suggested that a picture of him with his hands over her chest was merely a poorly conceived joke rather than groping, but he hasn't explained specifically how his account differs. Below are several questions that need to be answered, ideally by Franken in the hours and days ahead, but also by the ethics investigation. 1. How many times did Franken insist that he and Tweeden rehearse their kiss? There are two central incidents that are part of Tweeden's allegation: the photo of Franken with his hands over her chest while she was asleep, and a kiss while the two were rehearsing a skit for the troops. According to Tweeden's account, Franken was insistent that they actually kissed during the rehearsal, repeatedly insisting upon it even as she resisted. Tweeden even said at a news conference Thursday that Franken's insistence reminded her of that tape of Harvey Weinstein in which he begs and pleads with a woman to come to his hotel room so as not to embarrass him. Does Franken dispute that he repeatedly insisted upon an actual kiss, and if he doesn't, why did he feel the need to do so? 2. Did Franken aggressively kiss her? Tweeden said that, once she relented and the two of them did rehearse the kiss, Franken was forcible and aggressive about it. "We did the line leading up to the kiss and then he came at me, put his hand on the back of my head, mashed his lips against mine and aggressively stuck his tongue in my mouth," Tweeden writes. Franken putting his tongue in her mouth what seemed to be completely unnecessary for the purposes of the rehearsal or the skit. And while definitions of groping or assault may present gray areas that are open to interpretation, the presence of a tongue seems to be a pretty black or white matter. Does Franken contend that Tweeden is mistaken in saying this, and if he doesn't, why did he feel this was necessary? 3. Does Franken believe the photo depicts groping? Tweeden writes of that photo: "He groped me, without my consent, while I was asleep." But Franken suggested that the photo was more of a poorly conceived joke and that it was more innocent than the groping that Tweeden alleges. As to the photo, it was clearly intended to be funny, but wasn't, Franken said in his initial statement. "I shouldn't have done it." Clearly intended suggests too big a deal is being made of it. So does Franken believe that the photo depicts groping, and if not, why not? 4. Franken says women deserve to be heard and believed. How does he square this with questioning Tweeden's account? Franken's statement says, "While I don't remember the rehearsal for the skit as Leeann does, I understand why we need to listen to and believe women's experiences." He adds later that women deserve to be heard and believed. Franken is trying to have it both ways here. He says, in literally the same sentence, that assault accusers deserve to be believed, and also that he thinks Tweeden's account is wrong. So, which is it, and how can you say that women deserve to be believed while also saying that this particular woman's account might be wrong? Also, if Tweeden feels she was assaulted and groped, does Franken think it's okay to dispute that? Democrats in particular have said many times in recent weeks that assault accusers deserve to be believed. The fact that a prominent Democrat disputes at least some details of his own assault allegation suggests that's a tough standard to consistently apply. And that standard is really going to test any desire among Democrats to stand with Franken in the weeks and months ahead.